Det er Filippinenes nasjonaldag. Det skal feires her på Fredriksten festning, og vi skal dekke litt arrangementet.
Pahimas naman ang Pilipinas.
Mabuhay ang Oscar! Mabuhay ang Oscar!
Members of the diplomatic corps, ambassadors Enrico Fox and his company, to go to your respective seats as the
We are on exhibition here in the Filippine National Day. Can you tell me about the exhibition here?
Yes, sure. So the exhibit that we are in right now is Inking Independence, which is an exhibit that the Bellica artists, so Filipino artists in Belgium, already exhibited in Ghent, Belgium, where one of the two novels featured here and written by our national hero Jose Rizal was first published. So it was El Filibusterismo. So for this invitation that the Filipino community in Norway provided us, we are exhibiting the other half of the two novels, which is the No Limitang Here, the first novel published by the same hero. And so the artworks from both Filipino artists in Belgium and Filipino artists in Norway will tell the interweavings, the connections, the contrasts between those novels that then led to the Philippine independence from the Spanish Kingdom in 1898. It is important that this exhibit is shown here in Norway and everywhere around the world because it will remind us of our struggle to independence and our struggle to our individual independence in our everyday lives. So enjoy the exhibit.
That's nice to be independent.
Yeah.
So what are you doing here?
I'm one of the artists from Belgium. I'm Mylene, and this is I have two artworks here, and this is one of my artwork, and it's an assemblage. It's a box of curiosity, and it's about the second book, El Filibusterismo, and it's a collection of different situations in the book that also reflects the current situation in the Philippines right now.
Oh yeah.
And there's another book there that is also a paradox of a parody of the second book, El Filibusterismo, and I entitled it El Filibusted.
Oh yeah.
Because
Yes.
despite of us really independent from the Spanish colonialism, we're still not independent from poverty and other oppression.
Yeah. It takes time to turn a country around.
Yes,
It does.
and thank you very much.
What about you? What are you doing here?
I'm our and this is my work. This represents the two persons that represent Dr. Jose Rizal, our hero who wrote No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo. And these two persons are the one who's the disguise of Dr. Jose Rizal as a rich person. The first person is Crisostomo Ibarra, that he is a rich person, but when in the No Limitang Here, but when he left the Philippines after the to go to another country in Spain and here in Europe, he wrote during that time he wrote the No Limitang Here and El Filibusterismo, and then when he go back to the Philippines, he represent as Simon, who is a very rich man try to make the Spaniards more corrupt, so that the Filipinos going to revolt against the Spaniards. And that's why he's disguised himself in the as Simon and also Ibarra, Chrysostom Ibarra. And another work here. This is my another work.
Okay.
This is also represents No Limitangre. I give that title Touch Me Not because that represents the phoenix and the bird when he died, he reborn in his ashes, and it represents the Philippines. And Dr. Rizal as a hero, he lead the revolution in the Philippines, and the people who revolt, they reborn in their ashes to gain our liberty.
So this Rizal, he wrote a book.
Yes.
Did he also write about how the new Philippines will look like in culture and values and so on?
Yeah,
In that
but
book?
his book is always represents, but not really. It's very poetic.
Oh yeah.
But the Spaniards was able to detect that this book represents the Filipinos to that Dr. Rizal wants the Filipinos to revolt against the Spaniards.
Oh yeah. That's what I have
That is what he written, and he has a lot of book written, and he's always hiding in his personality, in his the persons who are written in the book. So the personality is always Dr. Jose Rizal is hiding in the persons of like Simon and Chrysostom
Like
Ibarra.
an alias, a secret guy. It's a smart way to
That's,
fight.
yeah. That's why we call this is the first hero.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Okay. Hindi kami akit doon. Gano'n nga, doon sa kanila with them. Couldn't you up there?
Ja, her er det mye fin mat på markedet. Kan du fortelle litt om den maten her? Du som kan litt om det.
Ja. Hi, vi er Filipino supermarket og vi selger dette er crispy chicken som vanlig, som alle kjenner dette.
Nesten sånn Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Ja. Altså dette er sisig, det er som typisk Philippines rett, som er populær til alle.
Hvilket kjøtt er det?
Den er sveinskjøtt.
Svinekjøtt, ja.
Og noen ganger vi blander som sveinåra, men det er vanskelig å finne, så det er bare vanlig kjøtt da.
Det skjønner jeg, vet du.
Altså dette er Philippine National Fish, som vi kaller bangus. Så dette er veldig sunt og ikke sant? Og så dette er fisk også, som vi lager som vi kaller det paksiw.
Ja.
Så samme som sardines da.
Ja, har du gjort noe spesielt med det? Har du stekt det, eller har du gjort for noe?
Nei, vi lager som vinegar, og så ligger den noen dager. At det blir bra smak.
Ok.
Og så vi har, skal jeg fortelle dessert også, eller?
Ja.
Så vi har som mangoflut, som det er veldig populær også på Filippinene. Det er veldig spesielt. Særlig Philippine mango.
Det så godt ut.
Yes. Og det kaller også tiramisu. Og den er...
Ligner på tiramisu?
Ja, den er fisk også.
Ja.
Som...
Hva heter den?
Vi kaller galunggong. Galunggong, ja. Det er som, jeg vet ikke på engelsk da.
Ja.
Og så vi har som typisk halo-halo da. Som dessert. Og vi har tempura og barbecue og siupaw, longanisa, så forskjellig Philippines
Longanisa er
rett.
sånn pølser.
Ja, pølser, ja. Så alle er velkommen da. Tusen takk.
Takk skal du ha.
Ja, ha det.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good afternoon, Maka.
Sa mga kumakain dyan, good afternoon. Okay. Before I start, let me just recognize the presence, and we're really honored to have the mayor of Halden, Honorable Fredriksten, and the vice mayor of. That's what we are. We are not excluding ourselves, but instead the Filipino community is including itself and trying to be inclusive. That's why in this today, in the program, you would see not only Filipino, Norwegian talents, but also Norwegian talents who would be performing on stage. If you look at the program, if you have seen, and I asked you, and I encourage you to look at, if you don't have the physical copy of that program, look at and visit the Facebook page of Kalayaan Norge Oswald. You would see there the program. You would say there that there are Filipino and Norwegian talents that would be performing today. That is inclusivity. That is what we want. We want one big Filipino-Norwegian community working together, promoting the culture and heritage of Norway and Philippines. Now, I wanted to say also that the theme adopted for the Philippine Independence Day is Kalayaan, Kinabukasan, Kaunlaran, KKK. Not in that order. Because if you do that in that order, that would be historical. We're not just celebrating a historical landmark that is in June 12, 1898. We freed ourselves from the yoke of Spanish colonialism in the Philippines. That was after 350 years. That is the birth of the Filipino nation 126 years ago. But we don't just want to remember the sacrifices and the courage of the Filipinos that fought against the Spanish colonials in the Philippines, but we want to remember the virtues of courage, the virtue of resilience, the virtue of commitment of this Filipino to create a nation, just like the Norwegians' commitment, their resilience, and the courage to create their own nations. There are parallelism, may mga kaugnay-ugnay na kapareho natin sa Norway, at marami po yan. Kaya nga po, when we say Philippine Independence Day, we also celebrate the 76th bilateral relationship, the 76th anniversary of the bilateral relations between Norway and the Philippines. So dalawa palagi po ang celebrate po natin. There are all two milestone events that we celebrate. Kaya po, I will end my remarks. I will end my remarks with this call for the Filipino community. Let me speak maybe in our own language. Alam niyo po, kayo po, mga Pilipino po dito sa Norway, sa loob-loob niyo po, alam niyo na kayo po ay masisipag. Kayo po ay pinagkatiwalaan ng mga kapitbahay niyo, ng mga employer niyo. Kayo po ay kilalang magagaling. Filipinos are known to be trustworthy. The Filipinos are known to be competent. The Filipinos are known to be excellent workers. Individually. Ang hamon po sa ating lahat ay makilala po ang Filipino community na ganun din. Isang komunidad na competent, isang komunidad na excellent, isang komunidad na mapagkatiwalaan. That's the essence maybe of today and is reflected today. Because despite the rain, sabi nga nila, despite the rain, as Father Johan said earlier on, despite the rain, the show must go on. Sabi nga namin sa Pilipinas, what we say in the Philippines, ulan lang yan. Filipino kami. It's only rain. We are Filipinos and we will continue to be here and celebrate the Philippine Independence Day. Mabuhay po kayong lahat!
Mabuhay tayong lahat. Thank you very much, Ambassador of the Philippines in Norway and Rigoti Foss. Thank you po. So, Ian, our ambassador, I got some messages from here. He mentioned that we are not only celebrating our Independence Day, and lucky also that because of the Filipino independence we are celebrating, so we have here the chance to share our culture and of course our skills here in Norway. So I'm thankful also for Norway for giving us the opportunity and sharing also their life and our
For this event will not be possible without the support of the municipality of Halden. In this regard, may I call Mayor Fredriksten, the municipal mayor of Halden, to deliver his speech. Let's give him a big round of applause. Welcome, Mayor. Welcome, Mayor.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Mr. Ambassador, Your Excellency, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. When I first heard about the Philippines, I was a little boy about 5 or 6 years old. When you grow up in a small town in Norway in the late 1980s, the world and the Pacific Ocean is far away. But my grandfather had been a sailor and seen most of the world, including the Philippines, and he told me stories about that place. And his stories, combined with the atlases and maps, sparked an interest for the world, languages, and different cultures. And this interest is still one of my main defining traits. Norway was a very different place in the early 1990s when I was young. And especially in our little municipality in Halden, it was a little bit difficult to nurture this interest for the world and culture, food, languages, and everything. But luckily, things have changed. The world has become smaller, and the Filipino community has become an integral part of the Norwegian nation. It is my immense pleasure to host you here in Halden to celebrate Araw ng Kalayaan. And in many ways, thank you. And in many ways, it is a natural and symbolic place for the celebration of the Filipino Independence Day, also for the Filipino community here in Norway. I will try to explain why. When Emilio Aguinaldo proclaimed the independence of the Philippines from Spain on June the 12th, 1898, it was not obvious that the Filipinos would actually gain their independence. The declaration was not acknowledged, and the Philippines were ceded to the USA. A struggle continued, and the Philippines continued with a sense of feeling of freedom and independence, but under the control of the US. There is a clear parallel with this situation to Norway. In 1814, Norway declared its independence from Denmark, but the declaration was not acknowledged, and Norway was ceded to Sweden. A struggle continued, this fortress being an important location during that historic event, and Norway continued with a sense and feeling of freedom, but under the control of Sweden. In 1946, the Philippines gained their full independence 48 years after their formal declaration of independence. This happened peacefully with the Treaty of Manila. In 1905, Norway broke out of their union with Sweden 91 years after our first formal declaration of independence. And this happened peacefully, although not without tensions. And once again, this fortress on the border played a key part in Sweden's acceptance of Norway's full independence. So seeing as our community now has grown together, this fortress is one of the strongest symbols of Norwegian independence. And as our cultures and nations have grown together, I hope, it is my hope that the Filipinos with one leg in Norway and one leg in Norway also will embrace this fortress as a symbol of independence. And these historical similarities may be seen as curiosities, but I still choose to highlight them as a symbol of the bonds between the Philippines and Norway. Maybe there is indeed an invisible hand of fate that has brought our nations together. Today, we do have a large and vibrant Filipino community in Norway and here in Halden. There are plenty of marriages between Filipinos and Norwegians, and children are born who grow up with two cultures. And this leads to a seamless and natural blend of both our cultures. We grow together through family ties and occasions like this. And it is my hope that you also feel the same way as me, that the Filipino community is not on the outside, but an integral and highly welcomed addition to our modern Norway and the municipality of Halden. It is a great honor to be invited here today, and I am honored to share. I am honored that you will share this special occasion with me. So once again, on behalf of the municipality of Halden, welcome to us. Ang maligayang araw ng kalayan.
Da hørte vi den filippinske ambassadøren og ordfører Fredriksten, og festen fortsetter i mange timer utover dagen her.
Of course, we can see our honorable guests. They are enjoying now, of course.